and welcome to September 2024 edition of Macro and Market Update. Three key events happened in the global space last month. SAM rule got triggered. So, is the US staring at a recession soon? The unwinding of yen carry trade, which caused financial market volatility, and then Jackson Hole Symposium, hinting at the rate cut in the US. We probe into each of them and their impact on asset class, along with multiple noteworthy Indian data, unified pension scheme, and market outlook. In August, financial markets experienced some volatility due to the unwinding of the yen carry trades. Investors, both Japanese and international, had borrowed large sums in yen at low interest rates to invest in higher yielding assets outside Japan. This strategy worked well as long as the yen was stable or weakening. The yen's sudden appreciation from mid-July to early August led to margin calls and a rapid unwinding of positions, exacerbating losses. While the initial volatility has eased, some analysts believe that unwinding is mostly complete. However, this may be premature due to limited data on the scale of yen carry trades. While short-term speculative positions have been exited, long-term institutional investors will take more time to adjust. The pace and impact of this adjustment will depend on monetary policies in Japan and other major economies. But a major contagion has been thus far avoided, perhaps due to ample capital in the system. In past risk-off periods, emerging market assets often moved in sync, with investors dumping them indiscriminately. This was evident during the COVID panic in March 2020, the renminbi scare in August 2015, and the taper tantrum in May 2013. However, recent volatility has not led to widespread contagion across emerging markets. In August, while Latin American currencies weakened marginally, Asian currencies, including India, were relatively stable or strengthened. This divergence highlights a maturing emerging market and a reduction in the risk premium, partly due to effective policy making in many of these economies. The stability in Asia can also be attributed to low interest rates in the region, making their currencies less attractive for carry trades compared to Latin America, which saw higher rates in 2022 and 2023. The US unemployment rate rose to 4.3%, sparking discussions about the SAM rule and potential recession. The SAM rule, created by Ms. Claudia Sahm, suggests that if 3-month average unemployment rate in the US ticks 50 basis points above its lowest point over the past year, a recession is likely within a year. However, Ms. Sahm recently wrote in Bloomberg that her rule might not apply in the current context. It's true that many economic indicators out of the US and other developed economies have come in lower than expected lately, but hard evidence that the US is facing an impending recession remains scanty. The US economy is likely to slow over the next 6 months, but perhaps avoid recession. US monetary policy is clearly shifting, but how deep and how long is the question. The key message of the Jackson Hole Symposium was that a rate cut could come by in September. This also confirms that Fed no longer sees 2% inflation as a target it must hit across the cycle. Instead, it now regards 2% as a floor for inflation. And all the Fed needs to ease policy is for this floor to be in view. This is a bearish development for the US dollar and for US treasuries, and bullish development for precious metals and other commodities at the margin. While the equity market cheered the nearing of rate cutting cycle, if it is triggered by the possibility of weaker growths, the risk to US equity correction still persists. Gold is up 32% over the past year and 21% in 2024 until August, being one of the best performing asset class. Gold surge against the backdrop of a decently strong dollar and a fairly weak commodities is unprecedented. In prior major gold bull markets, that is 1971 to 80 and 2001 to 11, other commodities, especially oil, soared. The dollar weakened and gold did not stand alone in the leaderboard. As such, this unfolding gold bull market is genuinely different from its predecessors. We continue to prefer the asset as a good portfolio diversifier. While the Fed rate cut makes a case for weaker dollar, weaker global growth works in the counter fashion. However, in the very near term, it is the political developments in the US that are dictating dollar moves. All the election promises by both the parties are working against the US dollar. But beyond the election, we expect the US dollar to remain sideways in the near term. Brent price rose in the last week of August, primarily due to disturbances in Libya. That said, Brent is still under $80 per barrel, means that the weaker growth worry has superseded the geopolitical supply disruptions. All said, the Brent could have its floor at $70 per barrel over the coming months, unless the growth outlook turns truly scary for the world, which is not our base case. India's Q1 FY25 GDP data softened to 6.7% year-on-year versus a near 8% print through all 4 quarters of FY24. This was in line with expectation. Even as growth moderated, we find the internals of growth quite healthy. Household consumption growth recovered to 7% plus after 18 months of near 4% growth. We were expecting a recovery in household spending, and it's a good sign. Further, all critical components of growth such as investment, exports, manufacturing and construction output and services, all of them printed a plus 7% growth. Unless global growth slows very sharply, we think India can sustain a near 7% growth through every quarter of FY25. And this obviates the urgency to cut rates in India very quickly despite changing Fed rhetoric. RBI can be a bit more patient. Government is introducing a new unified pension scheme for the central government employees, effective 1st April 2025. States can choose to adopt this scheme as well. Currently, central government employees are under 2 schemes: the National Pension Scheme, that is NPS, for those hired after 2004, and the Old Pension Scheme, that is OPS, for those before 2004. The UPS will combine the aspects of both. Like the OPS, it offers a defined pension of 50% of basic salary, but adds a lump sum payment on retirement and allows for investment choices. Unlike the OPS, which required no employee contribution, the UPS will require employees to contribute 10% of their basic salary, trying to make it fully funded from the start. The estimated fiscal cost is Rs 7,000 crore because central government contribution will also increase. While this change is unlikely to significantly impact the market, it shows that the government's willingness to address public demands while trying its best to manage the fiscal impacts has risen. The UPS, being a defined benefit plan, places market risks on the government, which may be challenging for the states with weaker finances if they opt. Indian equity continued to pace new highs. The returns across most sectors and market caps are spectacular in last 12 to 18 months. In recent months, mutual fund industries have seen massive inflows from the new fund offerings, which support the rich valuation. But if one looks at the hard data, we are in an environment with 7% real growth but 10% and below that nominal growth. Earnings growth are in mid-teens and valuations are super rich. So hard data suggests that the sentiments are over-exuberant, which warrants caution. Government bonds have had a very eventful year, with a spree of back-to-back good news hitting the market, especially in India, such as index inclusion, lower than expected Indian fiscal deficit, improving liquidity in the recent months, recent fall in UST in July and August. Now for the remaining 7 months of FY25, we expect CPI inflation to be very well behaved too. Along with the US rate cuts, this will keep market expectations on Indian rate cuts alive too. We are still in the pause camp, at least until 2024. On the other hand, the challenges for the bank deposits continue, keeping the short-term rates elevated. In the near term, we prefer incremental investments at the shorter end, that is up to 5 years of the curve, while we opportunistically and selectively invest in long ends too. Signing off for this month. Thank you.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.